Casualties are afoot. Combatants dead. Investigating hostile intentions. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Dispensing light. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Standing by to
Electrical damage. Failing.
Hostiles detected ahead. Have a fix on their weaknesses. Keep up attention and patience. Still recharging. Locking them down. Back and stand. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Combatant scan. Torpificator at ready status.
Of health. Standing by with life support.
I have a breaking a fight out of them. Mitigating the threat.
Removing.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Emergency protocols ready.
Gun weapon ready, Commander. There. By my reckoning, that was the last one. Protectorate has this sealed. It can only be unsealed near the archive's entrance, remember?
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past, Seriously? Do these order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards and... How many abakai does one outpost need? Yeah. Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
Health benefits available at your request. Dispensing life-preserving medicine.
Adversary vulnerabilities.
Commander, you are dying, which is not a time.
Go for torpification. Target analyzed. Torpification in progress. Mitigating the threat.
Electrical saboteurs.
Welcome, intrepid consumer, to Auntie's Choice territory. The wonders of winter's grasp lay ahead, though do stay on the road. The ice caves conceal all manner of dangers.
Trooper! Hayes! Hayes, can you hear me?
Hayes, your family is depending on you. You've got to shake off these vapors.
I've no fair ideas of how to proceed, White. Nothing we do seems to garner the... Yes? Can I... wait. Welcome, potential customer, to the majesty of Auntie's military might. Normally, I would be at your service, but I'm dealing with a situation here. It's really none of your...
Sarge, maybe they can help. The two of us are certainly out of options.
And who'll pay them for the assistance? You? Very well. The issue is our compatriot, Trooper Hayes. He seems to have some kind of break or shock to the head, and he's, well...
Same sucker, bad habit blocker. It tracks every movement like a hunting death stalker. Try a gross habit, it shocks and nadgy bits. This flogger's a stopper, you just can't brush off her.
He's that.
Ever since the attack last night, he's been unresponsive and communicating only in jingles. At first I thought it might be some manner of marketing ploy, but it seems permanent. The artillery bombardment was particularly heavy last night before the assault began, and the rounds shook the ground so badly that our lantern flew off its hook on the wall. Hayes put his hands over his ears, lay feet on the ground, and after the only thing that had come from his mouth were jingles. Old archaic jingles, ones I haven't heard in years. We must rouse him back to sanity. He's their sole earner, and should he be discharged, just the cost of his family's lodgings on the claim is more than enough to bankrupt them.
Crabble crabble fabrics are exalting. The chitin shimmers and it shines. Your clothes will be so pretty, it's worth smelling like sea brine. Calorie killer, my weight loss pillar. Micro critters in my stomach, destroying all my dinner. La 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 la. The fastest way to thin is letting no calories in.
Yes. Well, maybe. They're the kind of sales roles you take when you're young, before you reach an age to become a real earner. Sadly, you're probably right. We'll try and get him back to base and hope there's enough in his account to cover psychodesectification. Thank you for trying to help.
Has anyone seen Jack? He was patrolling the caves in Sector 13, but it doesn't seem he's made his return.
Nah, but I wouldn't worry. Jack may be a hullhead, but he's got enough sense to make it back before dark.
I hope you're right.
Our FOB at the bridge has been totally isolated from reinforcements. The sector is assaulted so quickly, we couldn't even begin to respond.
50-bit says that plan seems to be archived itself. Definitely removed.
Whoa there, go-getter. Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Clever sort now, aren't you? Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Say, you look like some sort of rogue former member of the Order. Maybe you could tell us what this place is supposed to be.
Me? Part of the Order? Oh, no, dear. I assure you, I simply share their love of sweeping cloaks and sciencey-looking accessories. I shall update my wardrobe to avoid such confusion.
Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. As far as we can tell, Order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. That seemingly unimposing edifice over there? Good luck with that. Lost a few peons in there. Place is full of deleterious traps devised by Order ingenuity. Whatever's stored inside must really be something. At some point, we'll work up the nerve to return. Been scouring all the other buildings clean since. A mess of energy-based barriers. A few seem pretty intent on bisecting the odd dawdler, and prove rather good at it. Oh, well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die, which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way.
Got some test sprats volunteering to jump into that.
That whole place is one big death trap. You want in? Be my guest.
Oh, look who finally decided to appear.
Anais, you're not supposed to be here.
Events prove otherwise, don't they? While you were taking your time arriving, I found a way inside these corporate drones haven't discovered. I've grown rather adept at sneaking in and out of these so-called restricted areas unseen. Peeked around a little. They've conveniently posted signs where various types of dangerous research materials are stored away.
Leave it to the Order to rigorously catalog everything.
Burn-down initiation is listed on the top floor. They destroy materials through immolation there.
The research will be in reinforced containers, so enlisting the facility's own incineration measures would be prudent.
I saw signs for heretical miscellany, time-wasting contrivances, detrimental cognitive enhancers, and prevaricated hypotheses, in addition to cataclysmic ends.
Anais, stay here. Please.
I expected such to be your attitude, but I'll have you know that
I am not doubting your abilities. Quite the opposite. I need you to guard this entrance. Anyone appears, come running.
Fine. Go. I uncovered a vent in that office. Standard order redundancy measure. Let's out past the barrier over there.
I'll hang back a moment while you depower that fence. Wriggling through vents is a young person's game after all. We'll stay here. You find a way to disable these fences.
Research studies prove that disengaging from complex tasks for a time to engage the mind in unrelated challenges has downstream beneficial effects for problem solving. Thus, our department attempted to design a series of stress-reducing educational challenges to facilitate these efforts. After some light early successes, we refined further and received results beyond our wildest intent. Soon, members of other departments were idling away in our offices for hours, absorbed with what soon became known as brain puzzlements. My personal productivity was quite adversely affected by the mather. I still see it sometimes when I close my eyes. We finally locked them away to keep from engaging with them. Unfortunately, copies were smuggled out and distributed far and wide, leading to the oft-cited equational delay incident.
Hello? Someone there? Hello? Help! Please! Thank the law somebody came by. I've been rationing my anti-Cleo Morse rockets, and you know what? Your tongue turns black if you eat them all week. Like consuming. This is all I have. We decided to up the place. Well, the lobby. When our boss ordered us to find an off switch for them traps. This required us to negotiate through or around said traps to do so. Most of the others got killed. I got stuck in here. Boss left with the rest. You think you could get me out somehow? Like, right about now, even?
Hold on. You're not even remotely considering releasing him, are you? A trade secret vulture from Auntie's choice? Free to roam in a building full of order secrets? Just consider for a moment. We're here to keep dangerous research from spreading, from falling into the wrong hands. I certainly wouldn't want Auntie's choice obtaining research related to cataclysmal ends, or monetizing prevaricated hypotheses for that matter. At the end of the day, it's just an Auntie's choice auxiliary dabbler. Hardly a cute little woolly cow or something. That's actually a valid point. I shouldn't forget who we are, and I suppose I'm not who I was.
I don't understand what you two are talking about, but it sounds positive, I think.
Do whatever you think is best here. I still don't completely agree, but I trust your decision.
I promise not to blow up the universe, or whatever it is you two are worried about, I guess. Can you let me out now, please?
You? Well, that's a relief. Didn't think I'd ever get free. No thanks to you, ma'am.
Be grateful you're not on fire.
Don't have to tell me twice. This is all the bits I have on me. Not much, but thanks. I'll be out of here as soon as it seems safe.
You're young and spry. You can handle that. around here was tighter in my day. Did I read that correctly? Seemed concerning.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've got company in the form of an Auntie's Choice patrol. Seems their representative wishes to parley.
Don't shoot! Like she said, I'm just here to talk. No, we're not exactly friends at present, but, temporary truce, perhaps? Believe I've pieced together what you all are up to here. And I am willing to offer a mutually beneficial arrangement. Spied the signs on the way up. Our team has a keen interest in much of the research stored here. But cataclysmic ends, which I presume you're here to destroy, don't like the sound of that at all. By all means, burn every last trace. But let us keep the rest, and you'd benefit as well.
The idea of any Order research falling into Auntie's Choice hands is utterly abhorrent to me. I advise a rigorous refusal, as in no witnesses.
I could hear that, you know. Hoping she's not your main negotiator here. Nothing elaborate. Bits. A bunch of them. Enough to buy yourself something nice.
You're not seriously considering this, are you? These two-faced snake oil peddlers are incapable of making an honest deal.
Oh, nothing particularly heinous. We may conceivably utilize some information in the possible formation of potential new products. No harm to you, or anyone.
Can't really predict how Auntie's Choice would market heretical miscellany, but I could easily foresee them rushing detrimental cognitive enhancers to market.
Suppose I'd be reasonably happy with that. Some claim these mental recreations possess untapped commercial potential. I accept. If it's all the same to you, I'll just dawdle here while you complete the process. You know, in case you change your mind.
I'll prep the burners and make sure we have no more visitors. Burners are lit. Control board is activated. Commence the burn down process.
Well then, that seems sufficiently carbonized, cinderized. No half measures from the Order. Say what you will about them, but they are nothing if not thorough.
Excellent. Well, a deal's a deal. Meet me downstairs after you're done here, and we'll settle up.
And all Auntie's Choice receives from it all are some distractful diversions. Well, that should decimate Auntie's Choice productivity for the foreseeable future. Nicely done.
My original notes and research are burnt to a crisp. It's over, finally.
I'm sorry, but I saw on the terminal that an external party gained authorization to study it. There's at least one set of copies out there. Give me some time. I'll find them.
What do you need from me?
To go on and live your life. Around other people, not holed up in a dilapidated shack. We'll settle the rest.
You can't possibly expect to leave me behind again without a fight.
Why don't we burn that bridge when we get to it? We still need to get out of here first.
Pleasure doing business with you. I can't wait to monetize this brain puzzle garbage.
Be sure to try it. Should be right engaging. For anyone with a little gray in their upper story.
Huh. Maybe I will at that. We deeply appreciate your assistance in further expanding the ever-growing Auntie's Choice proprietary insight catalog. Be seeing you.
Suppose this is goodbye. Oh, sweetie. I'll miss you too. Been interesting to see you. Before I forget, I meant to give you this. Little something I made.
So we're good? You and I. Everything... settled?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but good as ever. Don't think I don't see what you're doing with all this, though. You've always been who you are, but you weren't you for decades. A new cause comes up and you take it on immediately. Because saving the universe is easier than confronting yourself. Whoever you are now, whoever you're going to be, just take care. Don't be a stranger.
Goodbye, Anais. Thank you kindly. I think I am. Appreciate your support. Been a spell since I could rely on anyone like that. Though, suspect that's my own damn fault. Ah, Anais snuck something by me again, didn't she? What was that last thing she said? Don't be a stranger. Right. All right. I suppose you remain on my good side. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I ought to step away? What I wouldn't give for a big bowl of purple... Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Heard that rift near the Archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest action clearly runs counter to the plan. Mark my supposition. It's only a matter of time until we're called upon to take back the Archive. You're cleared to enter. Go on in.
Ah, Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the Garden's hub for all manner of research, instruction, and study. A beacon on the hill of progress. Since the Order's forced dispossession of Spireton and the Archive, many spaces within the hall have been repurposed to serve as a temporary headquarters. Which is to say, please excuse our mess. We're still remodeling. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Detecting higher than normal humidity with trace amounts of organic material non-native to Cloister.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. The Order has myriad matters of extreme significance to attend to. Their priority is decided by the presiding bishop. She's the most important individual in Arcadia, after all. I'm glad we're in accord. The presiding bishop's leadership allows the Order to act in Arcadia's best interest. Without her, we would be nothing. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. First, there is the matter of proving your aims align with ours. To that end, there are some elements that need erasing. Do so, and we may begin to speak of your desires. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the Archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead, but I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
We should collect Azza from the ship first. Unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult. Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Lovely day for a coup, dear. The only surprise about the Protectorate's consul usurping the Sovereign's authority is it did not happen sooner. I'm not hearing a question. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quickly, but it was a reasonable hypothesis based on available data. I mean, of course I know who I am, or that is, I know who I was. Who I am now is a work in progress. A revise and resubmit. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had cognitive demands. Let's say I possessed more associates than friends. She needn't have worried, though. I have recently come to appreciate personal connection. Theoretically. May all our travails add to the equation. See that spire? That's the archive right there. The archive.
Think of the things I'm about to do!
cause us no problems now that we've acquired the modulator.
You there. You need to leave. This is a holy site, traitor. Those shunned by the dawn are not welcome. Did you not hear me? You must leave unless you wish to be ushered into perfection before the rest of this architect-forsaken colony. But please, give me an excuse to kill the betrayer of our exalted leader.
Betrayer? I am the savior of the glorious dawn. I will speak with your local hierarch at once.
I don't... that is... I can't... Hierarch! Hierarch Wolcott! You're needed over here! So, the power to manipulate rifts. That seems, let me just say I apologize if I've offended you in any way.
Wolcott? Wolcott's your hierarch? Shit.
Well, look here. I never expected to see you again, Azahelia. Here to spread more deceptions like your broadcast.
Wolcott here blamed his lack of ascension in our ranks on imagined machinations on my part instead of the real cause. His thoroughly sycophantic ineptitude.
Well, this has been delightful as always, Azahelia. What say I have my sycophants kill you now? Unless you have any further inanities to spew as your last words.
Just that I might have regretted killing everyone here if they'd not been following a disgrace such as yourself. But now, I'm going to enjoy it.
Glorious dawn! Attack the interlopers, now!
I'm ready. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Locking them down. There be none. This might sting. Alive. I have a fix on their weaknesses. supplies. Lay down fire.
Enemy in vicinity.
Taking the fight out of them. Irritating
You bring a cultist into my presence? I hope this isn't a sign you've lost your nerve. Or are you planning on removing the cultists from Newton one at a time, like this one here? I was expecting different results.
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. The Dawn and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the bloody particulars? Come on, Commander. You never let me talk about viscera.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. Here's something for your trouble. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. I have reasoned something predicted has come to pass. One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The web is an order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified surveillance devices. We actually implanted a back door in the web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But we did not foresee certain protectorate modifications. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll find an alternative. Only theoretically. The protectorate guarding the site will be anything but welcoming. You'd likely need to find something, or someone, to wrest their attention away from you. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Don't cause any trouble.
So, you decided the crew needed another cutthroat, did you? I don't mean to criticize the faults in your logic, but you realize Asa is a completely inefficient killer, yes? Well, do admit I've always wanted an understudy. Someone to pass on my vast knowledge of calculated murder and mayhem. But Asa? I'm uncertain she's the right choice to inherit it. However, perhaps you see something I yet haven't, and I should keep looking. I'll need to ponder this further. May all our...
Doing a task or two to buy the Order's support is one thing, but aligning with them? I hope you ain't considering it, Commander. They're nice enough folk, reasonable or like, but they ain't equipped to rule. You saw how they could barely manage a refugee camp, let alone hold the archive. Sure, the folk here don't seem to trust Auntie's choice, but give it time. They'll see the difference between freedom and complete domination soon enough, just as Tausetti did. The battles will continue, whether or not you're paying mind. If you ain't careful, you might find yourself surrounded without an ally. Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you and especially the Earth Directorate. But time's too short, and the stakes are too high for tribalism. There'll be enough time for that later. For now, we need to ally with someone who can defeat the Protectorate and close the rifts. So whatever you decide, I'll support you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
Hey now,
give the order and I'll take care of it.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another?
Yes! Excellent!
Excellent. Take that, reductionists. Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been. Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Well, this is a welcome confluence of events. Why, without you, Gertie and I wouldn't be alive. And any hope of peace between the Order and Auntie's choice would be over. Shame about all the disorder. The negotiations had not been going as smoothly as I'd hoped, it's true, but we were making progress. Officially, not at present. Gertie and I have kept up communication through back channels in the hope that the discussions can be reconvened in due time. It is my earnest belief that this is the optimal course to chart for the Order, and for Arcadia. Though we could certainly use assistance from an outside force like yourself. To begin, I believe you would need to put forth efforts in good faith with each of the two groups. Earning the trust of both sides is essential. You're already on your way in that respect. Once you've worked your way up to meeting our respective leaders, you must convince them to consider joining forces. Oh, really? Perhaps the challenge rating is far less than I've hitherto calculated. Well, obviously you'll likely have to act as an intermediary between Ruth and Auntie, which will require some verbal finesse. But let's worry about that step upon reaching it. Transplendent. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides, engender trust. Gertie and I can let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. It's a rather personal apparatus, customized to my biological measurements. Would you ask to try on a stranger's undersuit? Perhaps you would. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours, for the moment. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. Yes, there's a reason they call it the madness of crowds. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromise is made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It is humbling indeed to confront one's own mortality. We must all assess our individual contributions to the plan before the final class lets out. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. Welcome back, Agent. Is there some evaluation I can do for you?
You go on ahead. We're shilly-shallying about what to do.
Please have identification, transfer work, and a reasonable bribe at the ready. Ah, you're not a transfer or visiting Auntie's Choice employee. I'll need to check your current standing with corporate affairs. Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to such a big wheel. Afraid I still need to check your record with us, Big Shot. Alrighty. Commencing review. Estimated wait time. Unknown. Really? Reads like a recap of an Aetherwave drama. You're the questionable sort who we do business with, but you're definitely not our best friend. You should probably consider accepting our special offer. All it requires is allowing us to affix an Auntie's Choice holo advertorial inside your ship, so you can bear our messaging with pride and share it across Arcadia. Good question. There's only one choice. Auntie's Choice. We'll choose for you. Anecdotal feedback from paid experts shows it increases the odds of a ship's crew purchasing Auntie's Choice products by a whopping 11%. Splendid. Should be ready next time you're back. Enjoy your time on the ACS Undisputed Claim, the pride of Auntie's Choice corporate war fleet. Here's a ticket to the first stop on the Profit Mover Trimicular. From there, amble through the Esplanade to the head office tower reception desk. They can contact Vice President Hewitt and provide details on our exciting contract opportunity.
Earth Directorate agents may accept freelance opportunities so long as they align with the priority mission.
Pass.
Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
Trimicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Client intake.
Please maintain control of personal belongings on the tram at all times.
Development. The Borscht Loaf, the ACS Undisputed Claim, is not only our corporate headquarters and flagship, it's the heart of our efforts to spread unbridled self-betterment and free trade across the galaxy. Our flagship also sports a bustling commercial promenade where you'll find a wide assortment of products, wares, and miscellaneous bric-a-brac from all Auntie's Choice departments.
Hey, you traveling with anyone called Inez? I heard an Inez Silong was traveling with someone matching your description, but she ain't here, evidently. I do indeed. I was hired by a soldier named Ortiz to find her. And well, reckon this is close enough. Here, take this cartridge and deliver it to her. Couldn't tell you. The client paid extra for complete confidentiality and prompt delivery.
What sort of reception do morally gray outsiders receive when they join up with Andy's choice?
Review page 359 of the Earth Directorate Field Manual for a list of reimbursable expenses on goods and services.
Of an evocative allegory and thrill-seeking adventurist.
Yeah, you dropped something. Word to the wise. Mind your personal effects, intellectual assets, and major organs at all times. Plenty of opportunists here, eager to take you for all you're worth. You're lucky I found this, thing you dropped. Get me?
Your purchases drive our perpetual growth. The unparalleled systems that bring the best things in life to life.
Experience the most sought-after inebriant on the undisputed plane. Arrested on life. Exclusively here at the bottom rung.
Now entering an executive office environment. Please attempt some semblance of
Attention, morally gray outsider. The adventure of your lifetime awaits. Auntie's Choice is hiring. Hello, daring self-determinivist, stalwart seeker of self-betterment, or rapacious rogue of corporatism. Welcome to Auntie's Choice Esteemed Invaluable Disposable Agent Program. As in IDA, your assignments will be some of the most decisive and admirable tasks that Auntie's Choice has to offer. IDAs help explore the wilds, plot our path, and shape the evolution of our beloved corporation. And with enough rugged determinism, you might even live to see the results. And you can see here as soon as I'm finished. Where was I? Oh, yes, because you are making a choice to grab destiny and claim it as your own. A choice to be Auntie's Choice. Now, I'm finished. You'll find VP Hewitt right over there. When you're done, please exit to your left, where 2 of our top 29 vice presidents are waiting for you.
Well, wonderful to meet you. C.F. Pendergrass III, Strategic Reconfiguration. It's not every day we have such a capable operative accept our invitation to the undisputed claim. While it was those ill-fated peace talks that got you here, I've kept tabs on you for a good long time.
Yes, we've all kept tabs. Auntie and I have spoken about you several times now. Ursula Ormsby, Proprietary Insight Acquisition. You'll report to both of us. For now.
Indeed. It is our pleasure to meet you, and I am beyond tickled to welcome you to Auntie's Choice. Yet they are indubitably one and the same. By coming into my employ and helping to secure Auntie's interests, you are directly manifesting a stable future for this colony.
At Auntie's Choice, we make things happen. If you want to move something along swiftly, you come to us. If you want to endlessly dither about numbers, talk to the Order.
You, my friend, are being given the opportunity of a lifetime. Auntie's Choice has a dynamic new vision, and we need a specific kind of go-getter to make it happen. The kind that changes everything. The kind that turns our universal brand into the brand of the universe!
You don't have clearance to read the fine print, but it promises action, adventure, and paydays undreamt of.
And the chance for near limitless advancement. We need someone not shaped by Auntie's meritocracy. It serves its function, but our workers tend to focus on rung climbing. We need an individualist who sees unorthodox solutions. A daring, non-conforming perturbation ameliorator to implement our monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
More succinctly, we are recruiting an expert outside consultant.
Be our eyes and ears, act as our emissary, and when necessary, dispense with any competition. I have a plan, a vision that will change the course of Auntie's choice.
Yes, Charles, your vision. Created alongside myself, a team of researchers, slew of marketing experts, a moon-spanning computronic gizmo, and not least of all, Auntie. Don't allow our banter to fool you. We are valued colleagues who, under normal circumstances, hold each other in the highest esteem.
So true. This particular effort has our nerves a bit high-strung, but we'll still exchange spratwurst platters come the 10th day of presents for Auntie's birthday. Your first assignment demonstrates some of the very qualities we need. Something unexpected, or in truth, unprecedented, has happened at one of our repackaging facilities on Praetor.
If I understand correctly, they're having, something of a workforce issue. Don't know rightly what you call it. Workers are, well, asking for things. It's strange. They've stopped working. The workers there simply stopped.
They expressed, and I know this is going to sound more than a bit strange, dissatisfaction. And they said they won't return to work unless things at the plant improve.
Specifically, they stated, until we meet their demands. As though employees have a right to demand anything of their employers.
Striking? You're saying they're about to turn violent?
Yes, well, if they're this delusional, violence is the next natural step. Who do they intend to strike? Us?
Dear law, what a bunch of devious, ungrateful, greedy little prigs! After all the opportunities Auntie's given them to repay us like this, I'm so disappointed.
So what do you suggest we do about such an utterly unheard of situation? It is absolutely imperative that we get those people back to work, whatever it takes. Negotiate. As in, give in to some of their demands. Won't that set a terrible precedent for others?
No, Ursula, it won't, because we won't be the ones doing it. That is exactly why we've hired you as my brand new perturbation ameliorator. You'll solve the problem for us, and we will retain absolute deniability. Wonderful! You'll go to Praetor, meet the plant's overseer, and mediate an end to this lunacy, which gets those ingrates back to work.
I have zero doubt Auntie and I will be completely impressed by your efforts. Unless you disappoint, in which case I will disavow that statement.
You're bleeding!
That's right,
Saw
folks.
something like
Keep the
this
chanting
just before
going.
Auntie's Choice took
I
over
can see the
Talsetti.
overseer up and
Didn't end well for the boss.
exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker.
Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? We're causing trouble. We just found out that we're basically slave labor. And now we're learning to stand up for ourselves. We need the proletariat to yield to, worker subjugation by xenophobic proxy? No, that ain't right. But it's something that sounds super fancy when Will explains it. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor.
If you won't let us sleep or eat, you can't charge us for stimulates! We don't want to make demands, but no more being in chance! With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for a Adrena time! No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors! With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time! Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days! We don't want to make demands, but no more being in bottles and cans!
Team frustrations don't normally involve, you know, an actual event.
Heads up! Make some space! We've got a sanctioned non-employee professional caller coming out!
For a week! Can't believe what I'm losing on a... Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule, and is making me look quite the fool. Some ne'er-do-wells, have incited our workers to halt all work. They've taken to making demands and carrying on about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice. And if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences.
I reckon she's got her wires crossed. Basic dignity is what Auntie's Choice promised us when we signed up, so long as we were good at our work. And while we might have faced grave consequences back on Tau Ceti, it was under old management, who were trounced rather thoroughly in the end, I might add.
Nevertheless, here, we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work, and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule, or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only only within Auntie's choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Auntie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer? Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. If I'm honest, my gaze is purely focused up the ladder, not down it. I am a very important upper, middle, lower manager, and the way I advance that status scantily involves learning the names and faces of my peons. Their value is in providing their minuscule contribution to this mighty and prestigious corporation. And by providing their maximal effort, they allow me to ascend, vacating this position so that one of their undistinguished masses can fill it, thereby becoming distinguished. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors! If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates!
We're definitely making her miserable!
We don't want to make demands! Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Settle my complaints? How exactly you planning that? Auntie's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor, labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right, exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties.
It has been incredibly difficult. And very, very messy. And finally, we realized we'd had enough. Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
For what it's worth, I'm on your side. Sit tight.
Thank you for agreeing to take our demands to Overseer Griggs. Please.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Somewhere? Oh, that actually explains the odor in storage room 3. I never imagined they might be... I'll get the door unlocked immediately. and cleaning crews dispatched. What more do they want? 12 hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility, consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. A lunch break, you say? I suppose that might be a compromise I could make. It would still be a black eye on my sterling reputation, but at least it would get them back to work. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. And more work means more profit. More than enough to cover the cost of the stims. I see your angle now, and it certainly is a shrewd one. You are Auntie's material for sure. Done. Is there more they ask? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
Reminds me more and more of Tau Ceti by the minute. If these folk burn this place to the ground, I ain't telling.
No more bottles on factory floor!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? I suppose it's better than nothing. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair cream now. But I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her angles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all.
Yeah, I was starting to have the same thought.
It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
You did these folk a good turn, Commander. Good luck. We'll be seeing more of these negotiations across Arcadia. Bosses will just have to live with it.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
Respecting your right to risk a few pesky side effects as an early adopter. At Auntie's choice, we understand that the marketplace is dynamic, efficient, and well-suited to the shifting needs of our populace.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Actually, it's only 3. Surely you can handle twice that many tasks. I don't want to sound like the Order, but you could make a list, maybe. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.
Good luck, my ameliorator.
Don't let us keep...
Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Bearing tyrannical regimes like
I just had word from that old number cruncher on Cloister. Alden tells me you agreed to continue the work we began at Greater Tranquility Station. Grand. A merger, collaboration between Auntie's Choice and the Order will truly reward all of Arcadia, not to mention the Order itself. If they partner with us, it's only a matter of time before they come to see that profits are a more tangible proof of progress than those unquantifiable theories they get lost in.
something of yourselves. Live a life that's larger, more
Certainly.
exhilarating, armed and inoculated against a hostile.
Aren't you adorable? Next, you'll be asking me to name a time I overcame adversity in the workplace. What is anyone apart from the function they perform? To wit, I am my job, and I rather think such an esteemed position speaks for itself.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it.
Answering that would come dangerously close to upward communication, which is not something we advocate in Auntie's Choice. Wouldn't want the junior ranks getting the idea that they can review or, law forbid, critique their seniors. Suffice to say, Auntie Cleo is without peer, quite literally. This corporation would be adrift without her as our steady bellwether.
With Auntie's Choice. Operations. Welcome. A new role as sanitation manager in a paid public toilet.
Commander, over here. Commander, wanted to chat with you about the cartridge that courier gave us. Ain't heard from Ortiz in... might well have been a year at this point. That's how it goes when you've fallen behind, and the other's got no choice but to keep moving. If he's spending his hard-earned bits to contact me now, there must be a real good reason. Would you watch the message with me? Suppose I am. He's a good friend of mine, or at least he was. I missed him. But I weren't under any presumptions that our friendship would last the moment our unit was dissolved, or we otherwise parted ways. If something's wrong, I ain't in any position to fix it. True. Thanks, Commander. Would you do the honors and get it going?
Inez, it's Ortiz. Look, I ain't got long. Neither for this message nor for life. I made a mistake. I signed up to get grafted, but it's gone wrong. Should have known when I got to the lab that something was off. It was a secret, they said. We couldn't tell no one. And now my blood's infected and I'm as good as dead. Law, I just wanted to be like you. Throw myself at the problem, wrestle it down. But I should have listened when they told me about how your graft hurt you. How it failed you. I should have reached out sooner. Maybe things would have been different. Please, find that lab on Cloister. It's in an ice cave, but I ain't sure where exactly. They hid it good. Whatever you do, Inez, stop them. Don't let them do this to anyone else. Please.
Commander, I ain't sure what to make of Ortiz's message. He's dying. If it's as he says, I ain't got a choice. I gotta find that lab and put a stop to things. Will you help me? Thank you, Commander. Now we just need to find those ice caves on Cloister. We keep our lamps lit, we ought to find the lab without much of a fuss. I hope.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
It is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability and stifles undue energy. Feeling distracted? Come in, come right in, and be refreshed. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors,
You'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
Be advised, you have inhaled.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed to be.
Please refrain from operating heavy machinery.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
Pondering begets disharmony.
Happy and contented, and others are not.
Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
This Protectorate subject appears to be cognitively altered. It may be best to limit aggression and feign friendliness.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content. None authorized to you. Not until completion. Now there. No need to fear evaluation. It's just a few brief fleeting questions, all perfectly harmless, I assure you. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
Fashion salon into a
Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left.
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Welditarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective.
Technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Incorrect, but your response has merited a yay-sayer verbal commendation for exceptional tactfulness in the field, allowing you partial credit. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead. Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Processing determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 100 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever.
Pondering begets disharmony.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Trust me, delay the particularity does wonders.
Seen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
I do believe that's the first test I've ever failed.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about you. I have answers to questions and no
Medicament dispensement. Has concluded
Their team
for
plays
today.
the what? Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try. A facilitator said that I'd been here thrice, but I only remember once or twice. I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Are you in disguise? I don't recognize so-and-so as a title. This feels a bit curious to me, but I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. That doesn't seem like the sort of thing that'd be allowed, but guess you know what you're doing. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile. Oh, hello.
Right as rain, right as rain.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice...
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Rounding up for clarity/responding approvingly. Our refreshment facilitators will be pleased with your progress. Mindfully maintain mental momentum. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech auto-mechanically dispenses medicaments. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
That went better than expected. So this process removes all curiosity, then. Guess that's one way to keep people from questioning.
Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Parasite identified. Hastening to cover.
Combatant scanned. Patience. Still recharging. Emergency protocols ready.
Confirmed.
Target analyzed. Radar amplificator at ready status. Mitigating them. Locking them down.
Mobility. Electrical dampeners. Failing.
Hostiles detected ahead. Recommended course of action. Violent.
You cleared out.
Moving to attack. Check your scope for combatant analysis.
Privileged access somehow.
Hey, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of
Oh, do I detect a whiff of repriorant gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Laughing Boy here must be our lead scientist. That gas ought to make him a mite more tractable.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. My, can't believe I'm falling for that, as it may be the most unconvincing display of fealty I've ever seen. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Yes, well, you'll see, even in a nominally reduced state, I am more than up to the task. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden, gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging fruit, as it were. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? How very nice of you to say. You're not half bad yourself, for a non-protectorate not me. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the lathe of particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your masters.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Hostile in proximity. Proceeding to attack.
Medicament dispenser has concluded for today.
Hello! You find my pitch ball? Oh, commemorative pitch ball! I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there. The tunnel out was right here. Oh, they put a poster over it. Take it down, and I can be off. This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and, last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. After you, by all means. I fear I must insist.
love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice.
Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's Choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market positioning.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination. Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. And he wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important? Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Oh, do tell. I hope you gathered supplemental materials and recruited the scientist as well. Really? Thought you had more drive, but suppose that's fine.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They can barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right, for your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Well, I appreciate the clarity, if not the lack of guile. For now, I suppose we'll remain uncomfortable bedfellows, if not ideological fellow travelers. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, I want to be 110% certain. Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting.
As they tried with us at Tau Ceti, but did Anti-Cleo take choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the chosen.
I'm Jean Terper-Tyler, 6th base for the Anti-Cleo's darlings. I cleaved Spacer's chosen goalie at the end.
Don't wait for a line to form in front of you. Availability is here.
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell
Pioneering new career.
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes! Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice. What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop. I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question. I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part. I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive. Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly. Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined. On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores. No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all. Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience. So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly. We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. And a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce. Not to worry, we can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards. I will want to run some calculations to be sure, but I'm willing to concede on this point for now. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands. The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits. But I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later. I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice. I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom? That is, quite frankly, none of your concern. Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for. I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Certainly. I'll even extend our corporate partner's micro-discount to Ruth, as a show of good faith. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be. Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor. Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself. One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider. We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo! Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spyreton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the Archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Rift data. And how did you come by this acquisition, if I may ask? It troubles you, what you had to do to get this data. It must have been a difficult choice, but difficulty is not a metric useful in judging a decision as right or wrong. Something hard is only hard. Time determines the rest. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
I never would have foreseen this day would come. You are exceedingly unpredictable, Commander. In a good way. Mostly.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it with artificial means at Auntie's choice. When they join up with Auntie's choice? Why, let's take a look.
Welcome, eager ghost.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect. It's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Seems there's more to your shrouded past than I'd been led to believe. And here I'd been ready to disclose all. No matter.
Not exactly. Well, exactly. But not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize graphs, but, once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. No need to be dramatic. Here, I'll put on my pleasant, kindly adjacent smile for you. Now, will you help acquire this new body for me, or won't you? I'll have you know, we at Auntie's Choice are far from blood simple. Where's the profit in killing all your enemies when you can co-opt and sell goods to them later? Ah, tut-tut. No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Cleo versus the Moon Man is a battle for our ages. A thing of legend in the end.
Redo it!
Locking them down. Fortification in progress.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable
Soon I'll be able to... You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? A last-minute shakedown, is it? I knew I liked you. Yes, of course. Fine, fine. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? Wonderful! Exactly the effect I was hoping for. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further.